have a special guest, Ruvheneko Parirenyatwa. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, next time don't look too gorgeous. This is not your show.
Really? I thought I was hosting.
No, who told you that? Who told?
I got a call. TV camera, naturally.
No.
I'm hosting.
No, with the makeup lady, we need to wipe some of that stuff. But look, we need to talk about, we've all heard about it. Not sure if we've seen it in action, but let's talk voodoo today. Do you guys believe in that?
Spooky. I think of a doll and pins. Voodoo?
Love potions.
Oh, come on, you guys, we're African. This stuff happens. It's out there. It's there. It's happening right here in this city.
Okay,
have you heard
stories?
Yeah.
Yes, stories. Okay. I've seen one that went viral on social media where a guy opened his girlfriend's purse and there were all these things plus a list of dudes on her thingy.
But when you say all these things, what were the things?
I was actually about to say, what does it look like? Tumuti things and
twigs.
Yeah.
So maybe she had been cleaning up somewhere.
Oh,
and then,
sure.
And then twigs and then
wrapped it on
Kajira. They kind of didn't have a bin, so then she kind of had it in her hand, and then she left the house, and then she's kind of okay, let me just stuff them in my purse.
So you just have a random jira in your purse that you just wrap around twigs.
Who literally went completely zombified, and we were not allowed to eat certain plates. There was a certain plate here, baba, that had to be left. And then my grandmother came across so-and-so muti, so-and-so porridge, so-and-so musadza. And we were all shown these things. And my dad, being the pastor, was called to the house and he had to pray for it all. And we had to ship my uncle out of the country.
But wait, you talk about these things and tumuti. When I was driving here, I was telling my team, I was like, I don't even know what mushonga looks like. Are we talking about, is it in a bottle like bronco? Is it like tumuti? What is mushonga? What does it look like? And what do you then do with it?
Okay, so there's instructions, obviously. Like I was just saying, my uncle, there were certain instructions for each.
So she had to put something in his food.
There were certain things that had to be in tea, specific. Certain things
like what? Like a powder?
There's powder form,
liquid?
There's twig forms, there's mozi forms, there's some girls right now that were in some paper that were drying their poo, and then putting it into the guy's drinks, because apparently
that's too much work for you guys for a guy.
Because apparently that makes
what kind of man?
How do you know that there's shreds of poo in your drink? Because until you're drinking, so at some point you're not going to see that there's things. But this is what these girls are doing. The prostitutes are doing that. Sex workers. I take it back. Sex workers.
Why would sex workers do that when it's work?
Apparently it keeps the customers coming back. Because remember, it's there's a lot of us.
The cake is getting smaller.
The cake is getting smaller. The money obviously is dwindling.
So why not just work on your technique?
Why don't you work it out yourself? So you work on your own technique.
Why is it your better way?
I think the issue is, there's a lot of competition out there. There are too many women out there and very few men. So what's happening is, from word on the street, women are going out there, and I think now it's even the younger women who are actually more the danger, who are actually, forming little clubs and comparing notes. There's one particular set of chats that I once came across. I think it was shared in one of the groups, where a group of women actually sat down and had a conversation, and they said to each other, right, listen, we want this particular gentleman because he's got a lot of money. How do you go about it? And the one says, no, I have a sekuru who deals in traditional medicine. So if we go and see this man, he will help us. And they went there, and they were given maize seed, right? And then they were all told to come with the chicken. And the more seeds that chicken eats, the more money and more years you're gonna receive.
So
you know too much. Are you not the WhatsApp?
So you buy the chicken 2 days before, and you kind of starve
just
it.
Starve it,
and then
that's just cruelty to
okay,
animals.
but what's the underlying issue here? You mentioned that varume vashoma, vakadzi are becoming desperate, but I feel like there's another link. Are we wanting love or are we wanting money? What is it about murume chakoshe, especially for young women? Why do we need a man? What happened? I mean, the time will come, but what's the urgency? Is it money or is it love?
But don't you find that you're sometimes pressured? You get to a point where you're all 25, let's say, and all your friends are getting married, but you're the one that's not being picked. doesn't that situation also create desperate measures for some? Because now you're left out.
And the society also, and relatives also kind of like, oh, okay, so what's going on?
With
what's
you.
up? Yeah, what's up? When is it going to happen? Where's the guy?
Because for 25 Tato Chembera, according to our grandparents.
This is it. And then, this is it. And then you've got the women that want to tighten up their, private parts. So that, you keep on being sweet.
Youthful. When you've had 3 kids.
When you've had 3 kids or whatever. So you're taking different types of herbal substances for that too.
Okay, but that's a bit different. That's not mushonga.
But mushonga.
No, but even for that, there's an English way of saying people do Kegel exercises.
Yeah,
they use those beads. There's other ways, and there's actually surgery for some women now where you tighten that. So I'm saying, must it all be called mushonga when it's just now fixing yourself?
Yeah, maybe it's just herbal. Like,
But everything is herbal.
But isn't it because
Everything is herbal.
our culture, our vocabulary when it comes to that is very limited to actually splitting. In English, you'd have a whole lot of terminology for that, but when it comes to African tradition, it's just mushonga.
So it's either mushonga or holy water.
If it's herbal, I can take a parsley herb, right?
Yeah.
What I use it for, and its power as a parsley herb is nothing until it's been mufuirwa. If it's mufuira, then the witch doctorness and the black magic and all of that. Because you're saying it's a twig, which is from a tree. It's not like there's a special tree grown for ngangas. Do you know what I mean?
All that we know of.
Oh, or that we know of.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is it's just a normal piece of something, a leaf, a herb or whatever, but then it's voodooed. So that it does the
But
job.
is it actually
My question
voodoo, though? 'Cause I don't know that it's
The
voodoo.
voodoo bit is
Because-
when those women who do the mushonga bit, where your husband, if they see even another woman, they can't even perform.
Yeah,
That's
that's awful.
Okay,
Yeah.
And then the
But it's
bit
kind
where
of fair. He deserves it. Though, anyway. Like, why does he want to get on for another chick? Like, why? Sit down.
I know of one person who is allegedly supposed to have used this on their husband, and they're going to confess. If they even look at a woman, they'll confess.
snap.
Okay, where did you get it?
I saw patients.
Where did you get
No, but Punishjimwe, that's just like that's emasculating Murume.
Or that man that used to follow his wife everywhere. Like, so like at funerals, you've got the men sitting outside and the women sitting out inside.
You have that one guy.
When she'd be at work,
But
he'd
isn't
be
that
there.
but she
Gave him something to do
Overdose.
this. He was like, following.
Maybe the guy's just in love with his wife.
No,
Like, he just wants to be close.
So this is what she did to remedy her situation.
Wow. So where do you go to get this stuff? Like,
Can we have phone numbers?
Can
I want to use it,
but just for research purposes.
Yeah.
You know, where
For research.
what's the address? I say, they have a feather hat, because me, when I think of this stuff, I think old school kind of. Where do you go? Is it in the internet? Is it on Google? Like,
But do you know what it is?
Women
Women are now people are now using it for money. Before we used to hear about men doing it, men voodoo, they use it for money. Women voodoo, they use it for men. But now women also want money. There's this story about this woman who got this cat, and then she got money, and then she also got the cat. She was told, you're gonna get money, but when you get to your house, there's gonna be a cat. Yeah. So she gets home, and there's a cat there. There's a big cat. So you know what? So every time she got into a relationship, this cat, she'd get home and this cat would be mad. Would be angry. Like, if she just started to like a guy, it would be mad and would be scratching at her bedroom door the whole night. And then if she broke up with the guy, she stopped liking the guy, the cat would be all nice. Wow. And
all for money.
no, all for money, yes. And then when she hit the MPs, the minstrels, the cat jumped on her.
Are you sure that's a real story? That's fiction.
All night.
Is that real?
You guys, it was real.
No, did this happen in Zimbabwe?
Yes, in Zimbabwe.
Oh, it does happen.
So that she went back to the dude and she's like, I don't want this cat anymore. The guy's like, I told you that, the money will come with the cat.
But it seems to always come with a consequence.
Because
I
I'm always going there for cats here, Papa.
You know, I'm
That's it. I just get this feeling. I don't like cats, you guys.
But anyway, they say that
I
the
love
guys
cats,
in
though.
Malawi, the witch doctors in Malawi are the best. So you find a lot of women going to Malawi to the sangomas from there who give them all these potions. And a lot of the times they do come with this sort of thing, like repercussion. You can't then move on. You can't get rid of it, or you'll have to do something. Somebody will die in your family if you don't do certain things. So
because the enemy, and I mean the enemy being the devil, always wants blood.
Yeah.
There's always got to be an exchange of some sort. Because there's no way you're going to go and pray to an evil power or a dark power and expect that there's no exchange.
Yeah.
That's what I think women sometimes forget. Okay, so you get the guy and he loves you. Or then when it ends, ukapera power, then what? Like as a Christian, I always just feel that my prayers at some point are all going to overpower your magic.
Right.
So where do we, you know what I mean?
And what about somebody just loving you just because they
genuinely?
want to?
I mean, are you satisfied knowing that murumo you day one because like I'm shandira? Do you get it? It's just out of order.
True, but then we say it about black magic, but don't we also have white magic? We've got love potions. I mean, these are things that have happened over time. So it's not even like it's something that's just started now. But I think we become a lot more exposed to it as we get older.
Well, look, we can talk about voodoo all day long, but share your stories. Let us know what you think. But that's all for this segment.
So in this segment, I finally get to host. But basically, we're playing a game, and the game is called Would You Rather. So I'm going to give the ladies some scenarios, and they've got to answer the question. Not too much explaining, just answer the question. Okay, so the first question I'll ask, which is pertinent to what's happening in our country right now, not knowing when, dates will be, but would you rather be free or be totally safe? Hey!
Be free. I'd rather be free.
I'd rather be free, actually, yeah.
Free. I'm tempted to ask free from what, but obeying the rules of the game. Okay? Next question. Would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go or have free coffee whenever you want?
Wi-Fi.
Would you rather have no one to show up at your wedding? Sorry, would you rather have no one to show up for your wedding or for your funeral?
My wedding.
Wedding.
Because I can drink all I want there after. Like,
I'm dead already.
More for me.
So, still on emotions. Would you rather live a low life with your loved one or a rich life?
Question.
Oh yeah. Without shame work and don't celebrate one.
Don't celebrate.
So that one pamchato. Kwete parufu. So we all know. Yes.
Now we
Would
know.
you rather live a low life with your loved one
it
or
doesn't
a rich
mean you
life?
guys mustn't come to my funeral.
A rich life, all alone, or a low life with your loved one?
Wait.
Would you rather live a low life with your loved one? A slice of bread for supper, popcorn for lunch, kind of thing. Or would you rather live a rich life all alone with everything you want?
No,
Low life.
I would have the low life.
Stop lying.
Because all low life. I mean, if you had said with my girls and the richness, I'd be cool. But alone.
I think the context though is about love. So maybe remove the girlfriends in your mind and just ask yourself, would you rather be a really successful power woman with every resource you have at your beck and call, but no one to love and no one to share it with as a better half?
Thing, though. I'll still do the low life.
That's not a comfortable life. I think
Thank you, Zaza. I think you're the only honest one now. How did Tabamu form a segment?
I will get the voodoo from allowance to get him.
Low life. I think we spoke about this in an episode before, and I did say that I would go with the low life.
Low life.
Do you know how low life can be?
Okay, like really,
But
really
he's
low.
brushing his teeth, right? We have
With what?
toothpaste.
With baobab.
One
We have
toothpaste.
toothpaste. So
Those
I know,
reeds
because
that
I
you can
know.
chew on and then you can brush
But
it. But
are
are you guys really sure? This is quite a serious question.
Yeah.
I know you were quick to answer, but do you know a low life?
Yeah,
No
in-
life.
living on the street, yeah,
No.
with him.
I want to be
Yeah.
comfortable. I
Achikuda.
want the money.
Yeah.
Achikuzoku ozoita step to the side wodi manje.
Okay, does it?
Anyway, the people. Food for thoughts. Ndinokurumidza kudaira. You didn't think of all the dynamics. All right. So, would you rather speak your mind or never speak again?
Oh,
Speak my mind.
Wow. Look at these women. This is the wrong panel. Okay, so would you rather know you will die? Would you rather know how you will die or when you will die?
When
Of what?
No, at least I know I can prepare myself.
Do you know how that'll drive you nuts?
no,
No.
If
because
you
I
were
would
told
live
you're
each
dying
day.
on the 4th of July 2029,
live the
I
best
would
of my
live
life right
my
now.
life accordingly.
but how?
Just do everything.
No,
that
how are you
I'm
going to
not
die?
doing
You
now.
don't care.
No, I don't care.
That's
Because
what
death
not
is
using
it's
the day.
inevitable.
Just
It's
noting.
inevitable we're going to die. I know I don't want to die in a car accident or something hectic. I'd really like to just slip away my
No, but see,
sleep.
now you're already
I'm just
changing
saying,
your answer.
No, I'm not changing my answer. So I don't want to know how he's going to die. But I want
Okay.
to know when. Because it is going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather
Actually,
know when,
when-
because knowing
when is
how
it?
freaks you out a lot
Exactly.
more.
Because you
Because
can't
if you're
prevent
told
it.
you don't know when.
Especially when it's gonna happen. Especially after watching that film, you know, the chief
Final
destination. I feel it freak me out. So I'm like,
Yes.
I don't want to know how I'm gonna die.
No.
I just want to know when.
When is
Okay. This is interesting. All right. And then, would you rather speak all languages or be able to speak to all animals?
All animals.
Of course, you do.
Languages.
Patience is such a
All
dream.
languages. Patience, no kids in target.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Okay, so if you were to speak to all animals, what conversations would you have? This is not the Lion King,
I
man,
want
but
that
like,
bone. That bone's zero.
But I think they would see
I think
the
it would
world
be
differently from how
interesting.
human
Yeah.
beings see the world, though. It'll
Yeah.
be quite
It would
interesting
be
to,
very interesting.
yeah, to hear like what they think.
when a
of,
bird is flying, what does it see?
Are we able
Yeah.
to talk to snakes?
And tell
Where
them.
are you going? Are you coming to bite me? And they'll
Yeah.
be like, no, I'm just passing by.
But all languages, no? You think it takes away maybe the appeal of different languages and cultures when you travel to New York to hear everything? Sometimes there's an appeal in not understanding. Even
I know,
music,
I
you
know.
know, you just know
I
that
want to be able to-
Kizomba is sexy, but you don't know what to say. You want to speak all languages.
Speak to them
All right.
and understand.
But you
Okay.
guys, you know, the power in that. Waking up in the morning and you're just not hearing a bird tweeting or chipping. You can hear it actually saying, oh, the sun is shining.
Okay, I'm done with you.
Just busy
Wait,
thinking.
next question.
I'm
I'm with you, patience. Don't worry. I'm
Okay,
with you.
last 3 questions. Would you rather win $50,000 or let your best friend win $500,000? I feel like this has a typo, but Dosha Nyorwa. Would you rather win $50,000 or let your best friend win $500,000?
Definitely my best friend
My
winning
best friend.
because
Yeah.
she'll
She'll
give
give
it
me
to me.
more.
We
Yeah.
trying to learn
Share it.
together.
Are you sure she will?
At least I'm
And are
pushing
you
her.
sure?
Money,
I'm
money
going to-
changes people, guys.
And are you sure
True.
you are her best friend?
No, I'm positive. Yeah,
that's
we've been through thick and thin.
Because
So
she,
you
she,
give to your
because she
friend.
probably give to her best friend. You think you're the best
This
friend.
is what I'm
But
saying.
she'll
That's
give
a
to her
gamble.
best friend.
Because even from 500,000, I'm not going to pay money.
It's when I just go
Money changes people. It didn't
It
just
does.
give me
Driving
the
in that
money.
nice
I want
car.
to win the money
Okay, so
personally.
you want your
anyway.
50K.
So after
want the
that,
50K.
now, yes, I want
Those on poor money,
50K.
they don't chaga lotto. You know,
After
because I
that,
I would want my friend to have it.
Okay. All right.
I'm
So,
all your friends.
would you rather be the funniest person in the room or the most intelligent?
Why?
Wow, that's a hard one.
That's a really hard one, yeah?
I want to be the
I
intelligent.
don't
But
want to be
intelligent though.
Kuite
What's
ina-
funny is-
hapana kucherera munhu ari intelligent vanobowa half the time apa une data rimusoro but hapana kuti nyaya ine because ari kusekesa vanhu ari kukona uko saka iwe neintelligence yako of wadipa
Yeah.
You can be intelligently funny.
wambaita intelligence manje. All right, and then okay, I'd say 3 more, but this one's really good. Okay. Oh, so is that one. Okay. Would you rather continue with your life or restart it?
Wow.
I know, right?
I want to restart it.
I would. From which age?
From primary school. I have good reason, you guys.
No, we don't. We're fine. Yeah.
This is guy.
No.
I knew it had to do with the guy.
Would you rather restart or continue?
I would like to continue.
I'll continue.
Continue.
Yeah.
Good. Happy women. I like that. Sit patient. Okay. So the last one I'll ask, and if I'm allowed one more, but this is the last one I'll ask, and it's pertinent to us as women. Would you rather date someone you love or date someone who loves you?
Date
Someone
somebody
who loves. Someone who loves you. Yeah.
I hear it, but wait, no. Let me think.
Someone who loves you, because they'll do everything for you.
No,
What about them? Maybe you
Kissing someone you don't love. You guys, it's a job.
No, but it wasn't the question was not that you love them. Because the thing is,
No, it is. I think that in the context of
not
this, it's
necessarily.
really a
Because in every
opposite.
relationship, guys, there's always one person who loves more than the
more.
other.
Yeah.
You know, like
Please do not reword my questions. I said,
I want to be loved.
would you rather date someone you love or date someone who loves you? Full stop.
Loves
Or
me
question
more.
mark.
That loves me.
Loves me
Nah.
more.
I'm on the
And
fence
take
on this one, eh?
It would hurt though. Like,
I'm
you
on
know.
the fence.
So there you have it. With women, you can't win. They can't even hear the question properly. Okay, they try and word it how they want it to be said. So look, this is what you learn from women. Very interesting segment here. The different characters, a lot of unanimity, but that was the game. Would you rather?
Welcome back to the third segment, right here on hashtag No Filter. And today we're going to be talking a little bit more about daddy issues. Now, you know, there's this conversation where you always hear about women, you know, wanting to date or marry their dads. Just how much of the relationships that we have with our parents, with our dads especially, does it influence our current relationships?
Everything.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's everything.
You want to go
Why?
deeper
Why do
into
you-
that?
why do you
Go
say
deeper.
everything?
I just feel like if you were privileged enough to have a dad growing up, you know, who raised you, he's your first love. And subconsciously or consciously, everything about his DNA and template of what a man is infiltrates you as a woman. So if you see your dad, it becomes something that is done. Whether it hurt you or not, it's like, oh, if my husband hits me, that's what daddy did. If you see your dad kissing your mom affectionately in front of you guys, you then have no problem with PDA. You know that men have that ability to be affectionate. So I think, and even how a father raises his household, your definition of murume,
That's true. I mean, I do think that a lot of what I expect out of a man, like how contributes in the home, whatever, is from my dad. But I can tell you that everybody that I've dated, complete and opposite to my father. Like, completely. Now, I don't know whether it's because he's a pastor, and I like going out and, you know, having fun, and, you know, and that's one thing that he would never
That's
do,
it.
right? So, yeah, so in that regard,
you went the opposite
but
direction.
he is still my love.
Yeah.
Completely.
That's not my dad.
I think like Ruvheneko just said there, it's natural because that's the first man that you get to know. So whether you know it or not, those are the characteristics you're looking out for, and those are the things that you find yourself attracted to. If your dad was funny, you get attracted to that. If
Because I remember my dad, I think my dad was the kind of, you know, person who loved the high life. He loved his whiskey. He loved taking my mom out. Because my dad was a diplomat. My dad was a diplomat. So obviously all the big parties that were going on in the city or wherever, you know, he would always go with my mom.
right.
And he would always open the door for her. You know, there was a lot of PDA, lots of hugs and kisses. So I grew up around that, and I look at the guys I've dated and currently still dating. Yeah, I look for that.
Right.
Because that's what I'm
And is that a
comfortable
measure
with.
for you? Like, I mean,
That
do you
is-
then say,
if
I
that-
can't be with you because
Yeah,
you're not
because
like
you're
that?
not like that. And for me, I find it
Doesn't
really,
resonate.
It just I cannot, you know, relate to a guy who is not affectionate. Period.
Yeah.
So yeah, I look at that with my dad.
I look for the exact opposite of my dad. My dad was a good dad. Like, he was a good father, but not a good husband. That was the thing.
So then when it comes to dating, you want the opposite.
I want the opposite.
Right.
But I also still want that aspect of my father. Like, I need
As
someone
a dad.
someone who's going to be good to my children, but also be good to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So they kind of like set the precedent some way, somehow.
They do.
Yeah. I think that the reflection on the mothers is an important point, because I think in my mind also I'm now separating Kuti. Was he a good husband? Was he a good dad? Because there is a difference, you know, because some men are amazing fathers, you know, but how they treat their women, another story. And I'll extend it and sort of say, you know, when it comes to those daddy issues, like some girls, you know, where you accept certain things in society. These days we've come from voodoo, you know, and all of that in our topic, but what about the girls who accept being a small house or a girlfriend or a second wife because they grew up seeing that in their own household? So do we say that that's a reflection on the dads or the moms?
Or both.
Both?
Because I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, if you're enculturated into that situation, right? So you don't know any different. Like, that's normal. So it could be abnormal that you've got a monogamous husband and wife thing, because then why? You know? So I think when you are sort of like immersed into the situation, you don't know how to really differentiate unless you're taught. I mean, now at schools you're taught certain things. I mean, you're even taught you can have a wife and a wife now. But I'm just saying that if you're taught certain things, that's what you sort of like, you do.
You adopt, yeah.
But I also think that sometimes it's not just about the dads. I also think sometimes it's about the various men in our lives that we grow up with in our lives. It could be that uncle that, you know, you just looked up to. You know, and then eventually, you know, you find that maybe those are the exact features you're looking for. One day they stand together with your husband, you're like,
are we related?
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you said Uncle Ben, I just thought of that advert. It's Uncle John.
That advert was so deep. But do you remember, like, and the way that we're all laughing about it now, we're laughing because of the remembrance, not because of the message. But it's again things like that when you're young, guys, you forget how that imprint on your brain does not leave. From that young age, we're now sort of asking, what's rape? Because I'm sure when we were younger, we kind of all knew a little bit, you know, we weren't as experimental as kids are today, but we had an idea of nakedness. We didn't understand what rape really was, but we knew it was bad. That advert was so good.
Yes,
we remember it
actually.
today. That rape is bad. So now if we are saying that, you know, when we choose our partners, our husbands, and they're representing our fathers, what is that saying about ourselves? That are we choosing someone we want? Or are we choosing someone we grew up with?
Someone we know.
A familiar characteristic. I mean, for me, my brothers are 6 foot tall and above. So I start there. If you are around here, it's like, no, I actually can't. I have respect. So, you know, there are women for that, you know. So are we choosing what we want, or are we just carrying on with what we were raised with?
What's familiar?
Tozopina mom would actually no. My mom liked a funny guy, not me.
But I think it's natural, isn't it? Because the people that you grow around with, those are the features that you get used to, and those are the things that you look at and say, oh, that's good looking. Because that's what you see all the time. So it's not surprising that sometimes you find that your cousin looks like your boyfriend or your husband.
Or your dad looks like your boyfriend.
But then, you know, another thing is some women end up with being attracted to their abuser. Getting married to the
Stockholm
abuser.
syndrome.
Because, you know, the person that abused you, because for you that was the only attention you got. So those are the characteristics you then look for in a partner.
So it translates as love to you.
Wow.
But you know what, I've got to tell you a funny story. When you talked about abuse, right? I remember at school, I was like 13 years old, and you know, we had this class about parents and fathers touching inappropriately. Do you know that I actually had to take stock? And I remember thinking, when my dad hugs me, is that inappropriate? When he touches me like this? But I mean, it got me like really thinking. And did you ever feel that about your fathers?
No.
I felt that. I've actually been questioning myself a lot about my past, because I grew up a lot around guys. We got a lot more guys from our family than girls. So for us, it was natural. But looking back, I'm just thinking all the games we were playing, were those like proper...
just now, homeboy.
I know.
Like, wait,
Oh my goodness.
why are we mommy and daddy when we're brother and sister?
And my cousins used to love, like, and then I'll be like, oh, your beard is scratchy.
We go on and on all day about this topic about daddy issues. But thank you so much for joining us on this particular edition of #NoFilter. Share with us your thoughts on this particular topic. Are you having any daddy issues? Are you looking for your dad's characters or characteristics within the man that you are dating right now? Holler at us. The line is right there on the screens. We want to hear from you. But from us as the ladies of #NoFilter, and thank you so much to our guest Ruvheneko who's been here today. Having lots
Is
of
she
fun.
leaving already? Okay, so
But yeah, thank you so much for joining us and keep watching #NoFilter.